The Weekend UpNate.
The Weekend UpNate.
Your weekly recap of news, current events, and trending stories. Let's do this. The Weekend UpNate with your host, Nate Armbruster.
Hello and welcome to episode 56 of Weekend UpNate. It's me. Hello. Hope everyone's doing well. I hope you had a nice Super Bowl weekend. Forgive me about last week. I recorded an episode and then forgot to post it. Now, the good news is you'll see that episode is now available. So you're getting two for this week. And I know it's technically the same amount of episodes, so it's not exactly a bonus. But I think we're cool pretending it's just like you're getting something extra, right? Last week was a fun one. I accidentally ordered from Chipotle in a different state. And I was in Michigan, and I ordered from my home Chipotle in Chicago, which I have a home. We all have a home Chipotle, right? I mean, pick your restaurant, your Starbucks, your whatever. You have a home one. You know what I mean? Your main location. And I ordered from there. And a little update on that story, I officially got my money back. However, I did hack the system a little bit. I'm scared that maybe I shouldn't put this out into the world, especially on the microphone, but I did get my money back, and I still got to enjoy the food, okay? I sent my fiance, who happened to be home. I was like, look, I accidentally ordered this food. If they don't refund me, I'm going to be pissed because they still made it. You know what I mean? And I don't want that food to go to waste. So I was like, go pick it up and enjoy some Chipotle on me, right? So I got home the next day and I requested a refund, and it was clear. You know, I immediately ordered the exact same thing 200 miles away. So I clearly wasn't lying. However, I didn't mention the fact that, I still ate it for lunch the next day when I got home. Okay. By the way, day old Chipotle, not worth it. Okay. If anything, it punished me. I should have learned my lesson, because it didn't really sit well with the stomach. You know what I mean? And honestly, the same goes for Super Bowl food. Did you guys go to a Super Bowl party? This isn't Super Bowl parties normally aren't my thing. Okay. Because, in most of the time, first of all, I'm a casual sports fan. That's how I would qualify my fandom. Okay, I love Detroit sports because that's where I'm from, and I'm willing to admit that. I think a lot of people don't realize that the reason they love, like, the people who get way too into it, where it's like it affects my week. I can't stand those people because I don't understand where they're coming from. I'm like, why does this team that you don't even play for, but you were born near, affect your life so much? You know what I mean? Like, however, I understand that if the Lions were in the Super Bowl next year, okay, let's just say that. We were talking about this yesterday at the Super Bowl party I was at. I would watch it alone because that would be a game I would actually want to enjoy and watch. But yesterday at the Super Bowl party I was at, we ended up talking. We're talking over the game, and none of us are really I guess connected to any of these teams. So it was kind of like whatever. Nobody cared, It was just an excuse to see some old friends. But I'll never understand people who, it's like, who get so into it. Like, where it's like just some of the discourse online is baffling to me. But I had a blast. Watching the game. I look forward to it every year. I like the entire event. And people love to shit on the Super Bowl, and I get it. And a lot of them have good points. But why can't we just enjoy something, Like, it's not the worst thing to like. Like, okay, so let's say you're a diehard sports fan, all right? You're someone who needs to watch the game. I respect it. You want to go watch the game by yourself and do your thing. You don't want any spoilers. Some people like to delay the game, shut off their computers and their phones, and they don't want any spoilers. I think that's really cool. There's stuff that I like on that level. But people who hate on people who go to Super Bowl parties are just as annoying to me, particularly the halftime show. I look forward to the halftime. I love the whole spectacle of the Super Bowl. I like it all, and I'll watch the commercials, which I thought were pretty lame this year. I'm not going to lie. None of them really caught my eye, except for that. There was that Farmer's dog food commercial where, it was really, tugs at the heartstrings. It was the one commercial we all actually stopped what we were doing. We just, over the course of the 60 seconds or whatever it was, fewer and fewer people are talking, and we all ended up by the end of it just getting a little like, I'm not crying. Are you crying? Like that. If you haven't seen it, it's a dog food commercial. And the whole thing is like this woman gets a puppy as a kid, and then the next scene is them going away to college, and then the next scene is them, moving into their house or getting married or whatever. It's all these life events, and the dog basically grows old with the owner or whatever, and it's so sweet, right? But all it did was kind of bum me out, because I'm like, well, shit, I got a dog, kind of ruined my night for a few minutes. I was like, damn it. All my friends took away from that this dog food will make your dog or help your dog grow old with you, right? And live its longest, fullest life. But all it did was remind me that dogs don't live long enough. And I got a dog that just turned 4, So I'm like, hey, all this commercial did was remind me how bummed I'm going to be in another, 6 to 8 years. Anyway, getting back to the halftime show, which I'm reading a lot of the commentary, and getting upset about it is the saddest thing to me. First, this happens every year, and we're just so dumb as a whole. All of people. We get so caught up in this halftime show conversation every year. First of all, did you guys know that the artist doesn't get paid? And oftentimes they end up paying for most of the production of the show. This is a legit, it's a concert, right? It's like a 12-minute concert every year. And so all that production that's it's millions of dollars. And oftentimes the artist pays for it because the NFL is smart. And they're like, well, this is literally the most watched event. So whatever you're promoting, you'll make tenfold. And plus, people who, have strong, like let's say Rihanna didn't get paid necessarily for that performance. She's not getting a check from the NFL. And then everyone likes to bring up the fact that, and she was pregnant. Okay, that was the big thing. And everybody loves to bring up the fact that, she should get paid for her thing. First of all, she's already a billionaire and a half or something like that. Okay, and she's a smart businesswoman, right? No one's giving her credit for that. She knows what she's doing. She did her own makeup during the performance. And I'm sure I would love to see how those sales spiked today. Okay, first of all, I didn't even know she had a makeup line, and now I know. That's how smart that was. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're not giving these folks enough credit, at least, So, like, let's say she drops an album, which I don't think she is, but let's say she does in the next month that we don't know about. Somehow she recorded an album after having a child and then getting pregnant with another one. I just don't understand the outrage and the strong opinions about it. We care about the dumbest stuff in this country, And people who don't like her music are shocked that they don't like it every year. Because it's always a top 40 situation, right? And like older people are like, why don't the Bee Gees play the halftime show? And then they play something that, the target demo of the NFL might like, or at least the spouses of the target demo. Okay, I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm going to guess that more men watch the NFL more frequently than women. So it's like, yeah, we want everyone to have something to look forward to that night, okay? Because if you hate football and you like music and pop culture, you're going to watch the halftime show. And this is true because the Super Bowl party I was at, none of us are necessarily diehard Chiefs or Eagles fans. And after that halftime show, I was kind of like, I'm ready to get out of here. And the game was fine. It was exciting, but I don't know. The strong opinions of folks on the Super Bowl every year just annoy the hell out of me. Can't we just watch one fun thing? It's meant to be fun at the end of the day. I know it gets a little creepy when you really look into the details of, media and persuasion. And at the end of the day, we're watching advertisements and everything's meant to sell us something. But can we enjoy it? Can we enjoy the show? That's all it is. Now, on the other hand, if the Detroit Lions are ever in a Super Bowl, it's going to be a much different story. So I realize that. But the Chiefs won. Spoilers. And it didn't change my night at all. That's the nice thing about being a casual sports fan. You know, I can watch these games without stressing. I can go into my Monday with a clear head, a little hungover. I had my share of dip. That's the other thing that people don't talk about enough. You know, we're all talking about Rihanna being pregnant and whatever call should have been made or whatever. And I'm over here like, this dip is real good. Can I get that recipe? So I don't know where you guys live, but I'm in the Midwest, Chicago primarily, and it's the middle of February, and the weather has been actually pretty amazing. Okay, normally February is the worst of winter where I'm from, right? It's just where we get the worst cold, the worst snow, or the most snow, and maybe we had that for a week or two at the end of January. We got some pretty cold weather, but now it's like supposed to be 60 degrees this week, and it's the middle of February, and it's while I'm driving, it's like, wow, this is so nice out. I'm gonna maybe crack the windows. You know, it's starting to feel like spring. You get that happy feeling, looking forward to spring, and you're like, it's right around the corner. And then there's this little thought in the back of my mind that just screams, you know, oh, Earth is dying. Yeah, that's all I can think about when this nice weather hits in the middle of one of the coldest months of the year where I'm from, and I'm like, man, it's really too bad. But then, look, I'm trying to bring an optimistic outlook to some of the darkest stuff that we're going to have to deal with as humans. You know, maybe not even us, like not my parents' generation, my generation, you know, millennials. I'm getting up there, older millennial. I'm on the back end of the millennials, but, you know, I'm getting older. So I think we're going to be okay. But then it's like my kids' generation, if that ever happens, if I have a child, they're going to be dealing with I think they're going to be the last of the last to really at least get some sort of, you know, I guess, quote unquote, normal life. Okay, hopefully. You know, resources are dwindling. I don't want to get too dark on the podcast, but this is where the positivity comes in, you know. As gloom and doom everything seems all the time, as easy as it is to get sucked into the, oh no, we're all screwed, everything is horrible, we're ruining Earth, you know, at least we can get a nice day of sunlight in February, huh? At least if you live in the Midwest, you can enjoy a nice day in the winter. This is the one positive side to what's happening right now, because we can't really change it. We're kind of screwed, right? We can't really fix any of this. It's kind of point of no return, but it's freaking nice out. I can put on shorts right now if I want to. Go outside. It's great. And that sun hits your face. You're like, this is lovely. And then you're like, oh no, there's a chemical fire in Ohio right now that people are comparing to Chernobyl, which is probably a bit extreme, but you know, we'll see how everything goes. It's such a bummer, because it's like, man, these people might not ever be allowed to live in their hometown again. And that's why I think they're comparing it to Chernobyl, even though it's not necessarily radiation. It's bad enough to make people evacuate indefinitely, likely forever. And to be honest with you, if there was a state that had to happen in, Ohio is probably the state I would choose. Yeah, because, I mean, it borders Michigan. I've been to Ohio many times, and it looks like a chemical fire has been burning. So my thoughts are with the folks of Ohio. I can't believe I'm saying that. What else did I do last weekend? I was doing shows in one of my favorite towns, Ann Arbor, Michigan. There's a comedy club there. It's a great club. It's called the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. It's actually where I started doing stand-up some 10, 15 years ago, something like that. Now, it was a great time. The shows were great. If you ever get a chance, you should go. If you were there and you're just now listening to my podcast, I appreciate it. Speaking of that, check out my album, which is still doing well. It's not on the charts anymore, which is expected. Okay, I'm not famous by any means. I know it seems like it, but if you haven't checked it out yet, I recommend it. Please go check it out on all your streaming apps, except for Spotify, because Spotify sucks. I use Spotify, but it won't. So there's an issue with spoken word which is a genre, right? When it comes to like music publishing, it's spoken word and comedy, which is what I fall under. Okay, and there's currently a class action lawsuit going on from between comedians against Spotify. Okay, and it's a whole thing. I can't really explain it, and you probably don't give a shit, to be honest. So I'll just make it short. But in the meantime, while all this stuff is being settled in court, the publisher that I used to put out the album decided to halt any publishing of spoken word and comedy albums. So in the meantime, go listen on Apple Music or whatever the hell else there is, YouTube and all that stuff. All right, now let's get to some of the strange news from the week. So this week is Valentine's Day, right? And if you are the type of person that is a resentful and hate your ex, this Ohio animal shelter will write your ex's name in a litter box for Valentine's Day. Isn't that fun? Yeah, this Valentine's Day, an Ohio animal shelter is offering to write your ex's name in a litter box and let its adoptable cats go to town. Okay, this is from CNN. Okay, so you know it's legit. Okay, the Animal Friends Humane Society in Hamilton, Ohio, is offering the unique tribute for just $5. So they're trying to, raise some money, which is a nice thing. You could just donate the money, but why not make it weird? So it's already received 480 donations, okay? And they say, don't spend this Valentine's Day down in the dumps. Instead, cheer yourself up while making a difference for animals in need. On the website, the shelter said that it would accept donations for the fundraiser until the 12th, which is now passed, so never mind. But on Valentine's Day, the shelter will post a video showing the litter box in all of its glory, according to its Facebook post. Now, I get it, man. Everyone's got someone that they would prefer to never, ever see or hear from again. But this is a little bit much, isn't it? And 480 people, that's a lot of people, first of all. And that's, $5 a pop. That's not a bad way to raise some money. But why don't you just donate $5? Okay? Why do we got to make it weird by involving urine and cat litter? All right. If anything, I don't know, you might be the weird one in that relationship, right? Whatever former relationship you're scornful about, maybe this is a fun way to get back at somebody. It's harmless. Okay, so that's kind of nice. You could send them a bag of dog crap or something, but so I guess this is a safe way to go about it if you just got to do it and get it out of your system. But I'm not going to lie, it's a little weird. Okay, it's a little odd to involve cats and urine, but they have around 22 cats here available for adoption. So if you want to adopt a cat from Hamilton, Ohio, and I don't know why you would, I don't even know why. I just don't get it. It's a bizarre promotion, but the thing is, this is the kind of stuff that works for these situations. People need to raise some money, nonprofits and stuff, and CNN is writing about it. So what the hell do I know? Now, I'm sure this will become a regular thing. If not, I'm sure you can get a cat to do this on your own. It's weird. Oh, and even weirder, okay, so after this came up, it's like there's been similar promotions in the past, okay? You can name a cockroach after your ex at the San Antonio Zoo. Oh, and by the way, this was only from January. Okay, this is like a recent story as well. Okay, the San Antonio Zoo will let you name a cockroach after an ex and feed it to an animal. What a bizarre, how petty do you gotta be? The San Antonio Zoo is offering a special Valentine's Day greeting. So if you're too late on the cat litter, okay, you can do this for $10. I don't know where they come up with the numbers, but for $10, the zoo will name a cockroach after your not-so-special someone and feed it to an animal, a cold but direct message that you're no longer interested. The annual Cry Me a Cockroach fundraiser will support the zoo's vision of securing a future for wildlife in Texas and around the world. So this is something that they care deeply about at the San Antonio Zoo. So if you're not into bugs, you can choose a vegetable for $5 or a rodent for $25 instead. A rodent. So a rat or something of that nature? A mouse to a snake, maybe? All donors will receive a digital Valentine's Day card and showing their support for the zoo. Now, I love a good gimmick as much as the next person, but people are getting weird about it. You know, I'm not a big Valentine. I'm engaged, and we get dinner. That's it. You know, we just go out and get. We don't do the. We don't really get gifts for each other. It's just to me, it feels like a manufactured holiday. And and if you're into it, that's great. Do your thing. But this is a little bit weird in my opinion. But what do I know, right? Maybe I'm just lucky I don't have someone I hate enough to name a cockroach after. But I guess it's still cheaper than therapy, so, go right ahead. Do it up. And if any of my listeners do this, please send me an email because I got to hear about this. Oh, and even better. So this is actually kind of fun. This part this seems worth it to me, right? So for an $150 upgrade, which includes a personalized video message to the recipient showing their cockroach, rodent, or vegetable being devoured by an animal. Apparently this is a hit too, by the way. The zoo's director of PR told CNN last year they received more than 8,000 donations from all 50 states and over 30 countries. Right now we're on track to break last year's record with Zach, Ray, and Adam being the most submitted X names. Okay, so if your name is Zach, Ray, or Adam, tread lightly this week. So that's going to do it for this episode. If you like it, please hit subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Tell your friends about it. Share it. Tweet it. Like it. That's pretty much it. So thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next week for another brand new episode of Weekend UpNate.
You've been listening to the Weekend UpNate with Nate Armbruster, and you liked it, didn't you? If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review, and be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week on the Weekend UpNate.
Bye-bye.